Hey, yo, Dante, can you do me a favor? I'm recording right now, so could you yell Dragon Squad, bitch? Dragon Squad, bitch. Get it! Hey.
Dragon Squad.
No.
Wait,
4, 5, 6. Hey! Hey, old man, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, your host. Hold on, nigga. Let me throw in the watch, nigga. The TVA, nigga. Hold on, let me throw in the watch, nigga. Hey, my wrist froze. Call that shit the TVA, nigga. What you talking about? Hey! I think I already did that, but it's your boy, your host, Red Sky Dragon Squad, bitch. Back here with another reaction. Today we here with new rock stars. I haven't watched them niggas in a minute. Kind of been watching like their other videos in my own time. Cause if you guys remember, like when I was first doing YouTube, I used to watch them niggas a lot. But we're here to talk about this Loki series. You guys see my reaction. I debunked Loki's entire existence. Why that shit shouldn't happen. I was going back and forth with somebody in the comment section, but I don't think they replied. But I kind of explained it better in that video. But basically, I was saying like why this shit. Like I think this shit is just a cash grab, bro. To be honest. Cause I really wasn't fucking with it, bro. I wasn't fucking with the explanation. It didn't make any fucking sense to me. Cause I'm like, I was really debating on if I wanted to really watch this show. Like I've never felt that way. I've always wanted to watch shit I've always wanted to watch everything like within a continuity. But this time I was trying to debate because like, if this should have been more episodes of WandaVision, I probably wouldn't have watched this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably would, cause that shit gonna. Cause that shit like fucks with my head, bro. That shit gonna fuck with my head though. But it's only 6 episodes, so okay. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. Fuck it, I'll watch it. But I was pretty much not fucking with the whole explanation of why it was a problem for Loki to do what he did, but it wasn't a problem for the Avengers. But the lady said that that was supposed to happen. So that's a whole contradiction. In this video, it's called, the double standard or whatever. How is it perfect? Okay, so if them fucking with time was supposed to happen, okay, you just let them fuck with time. That was supposed to happen, and Loki was a direct result of what was supposed to happen. How was that not supposed to happen? That's where I'm at with it. Like, come on now, like I feel like they just picking and choosing, like I feel like the whole show was a cash grab because it's Loki, the first MCU villain, and then it's Tom Hiddleston. Come on now, like, bro. But we hopefully new rock stars can explain it to me. See what my nigga Jeremy talking about. Ear tools, spectacles, run his hoes. Well, eat this nigga. Let's run his hoes. Get it up, man. Hey! Start recording. Yes, Sirski. All right, man. And we're gonna watch the variants confirmed to explain the multiverse, cause I seen Evan Peters in the thumbnail. That's the second thing I was mad about. I don't think I was mad about nothing with Falcon and the Soldier. I think I fucked with that shit. But yeah, the only thing, yeah, cause I didn't fuck with how Vision died and came back, even though it was White Vision. Whoop-de-doo, niggas, same nigga, bro. No, but wasn't no stakes with that. And then the fact that they had the whole Evan Peters and then turn him into a boner joke, like, nigga, is you serious, nigga? And then her doing that shit to that entire town with no fucking consequences, like she just literally just flew off. Like, bro, man, this Loki show, bro. Man, hey, y'all should have threw Runaways and Cloak and Dagger. Y'all should have got them niggas the MCU budget, nigga. Damn, I'm like, no, man, fuck, man. Loki had his time, like, bro, nigga done died 3 times, bro. Nigga done died 3 times, and y'all give him his own show, like, bro, pack him up.
I'm Eric Voss, and Loki forces the god of mischief.
Jeremy is Cinema says, my bad, Eric.
For his crime of violating the sacred timeline, but why is Loki being held accountable while other more heinous Marvel time meddlers like Thanos are getting off scot-free? And thank you to Eric. Sponsor today's video. More about them in a bit. I mean, not to be a snitch who whines, Josh skipped school too. Actually, I never had the guts to skip.
Nah, we snitching. Fuck that shit. We snitching, nigga.
But I think we all felt Loki's bullshit alarm when he rightly pointed out that he only came into possession of the Tesseract because the Avengers traveled through time first.
Which was supposed to happen, mind you. So how the fuck was me not supposed to happen, but that was supposed to happen? Y'all picking and choosing. Talk to me, nigga. Talk to me, Eric. Talk to me, Eric.
What they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Yeah, a slap in the...
That don't even make any sense, because if that was supposed to happen, bro, every single time Loki would have picked up that Tesseract, if that shit happened, 100 times out of 100 times, if that shit was supposed to happen and that Tesseract literally fell in that nigga foot after he just lost, you don't think he gonna take that shit and get the fuck out of there? Fuck out of here, bro. Bullshit.
Face worse than that wobble mouth he got in Mongolia. So is the TVA rigged? Are they all hypocrites?
Yeah, they are.
The answer to those questions tells us why Loki is really stuck with the TVA, as well as Marvel's plans to set up its broader multiverse, and how exactly Loki is explaining the leftover timelines created by Cap and Thanos in Avengers Endgame. So remember, in Endgame, the Avengers used time travel to steal the Infinity Stones, but they obeyed the Ancient One's warnings to restore the sacred timeline by returning the stones. But during that time heist, Loki stole the Space Stone and used it to teleport to Mongolia, creating a timeline that
was before they restored the timeline.
Never truly pruned. And despite not at all pestering the Avengers, within minutes, the TVA arrested Loki. But the thing is, Loki wasn't the only loose-end variant coming out of Endgame, because also during the time heist, 2014-era Thanos jumped forward in time to the present, leaving a timeline.
But I guess he died, so that shit didn't matter.
His forces.
Exactly.
Similarly, Steve Rogers created a branch timeline by staying with Peggy Carter in the 1940s, at least according to the directors, unlike the screenwriters who say that old Steve actually lived in the background of the same timeline history that we've been watching. And if you think about it, doing nothing to help his best friend Bucky while he was being tortured by Hydra for decades, or help the Avengers, or prevent JFK's assassination, or 9/11. I guess he was just chilling with the Eternals. But Loki's updated logic seems to suggest that Thanos and Cap did not create new branch timelines, that, except for Loki, everything that happened in Endgame left the sacred timeline intact, even if it means old Steve lived his life in that sacred timeline and never slept a day in his life over all the atrocities he let happen. But not only that, Renslayer says everything the Avengers did was supposed to happen. So why does the TVA have this double standard for Loki? Well, I have 3 theories. Theory 1 is that maybe the TVA does prosecute Thanos and Steve Rogers, but we just didn't see those trials, and Thanos and Steve had better defenses than Loki did.
That wouldn't make any sense because Thanos died. And wasn't Thanos slaughtering millions of people before came in contact with the stones? So no. Theory 1 debunked. Get that out of here. The Steve one, I can see that, but still, they fucked with time. You can't fuck with time. You can't go back and fuck with time. But that was supposed to happen. Okay, fuck out of here.
In the comics, Thanos is brought to trial.
Yep, this ain't the comics.
Versus Ultimate Judge, the Living Tribunal.
This is not the comics, though.
Not guilty for snapping away half of all life, arguing that he didn't really break any natural laws. The screenwriters even revealed that they wrote a version of this scene that got removed from the movie.
And so we stuck the Living Tribunal in the movie. As Thanos and Doctor Strange came to blows, Doctor Strange blew Thanos' mind and sent him through the mindscape.
And if you listen closely in this Loki episode, Mobius seems to suggest that there is another cosmic authority that judges between right and wrong.
Oh, so that had the Timekeeper's seal of approval, did it? Well, I wouldn't think of it in terms of approval and disapproval. That's sort of a... Let's get back to escapes.
Approval and disapproval would be the jurisdiction of the Living Tribunal, and Thanos could have appealed beyond the TVA to this higher authority to get a ruling in his favor. And when it comes to Steve Rogers, if the Loki series ends up supporting the Endgame director's interpretation that Steve did create a new branch timeline with Peggy, in Loki episode 1 there is one background variant detainee that looks a lot like Peggy. Now I'm not sure if it's her, but if it is, she might be getting arrested as a timeline violator or...
But Steve would have been the violator.
Really maybe brought in as a witness for Steve's trial. At which point I can imagine Captain America charming the pants off the TVA and arguing that he was already removed from his destined path when he was frozen. And now, after his mission is complete and he pruned every branch like they promised they would, he deserves to restore his original life path. But if you
that wouldn't have worked because him getting stuck in the ice was supposed to happen. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
don't buy that, theory 2 is that the TVA may genuinely consider the time heist and Thanos and Steve Rogers to just be part of the sacred timeline, but genuinely believe Loki is not part of it. Like, it may just be as simple as timekeepers
picking and
dictating
choosing.
that within this sacred timeline.
Yeah, that's picking and
will be a
choosing.
little
That's not
lava
logical. They're supposed to be
involving a
logical
time
beings,
heist
so that shit
will all
don't work.
sort itself out
Debunked.
at the end because
Debunked.
it is destiny for the Avengers to bring everyone
Yeah,
back. It's
picking and
destiny for
choosing.
Thanos
Yup.
to die,
Yup.
destiny for
Debunked.
Tony Stark to
Yeah.
die, for Cap to end up in the past, and that is why out of 14,605 different outcomes, Doctor Strange could only see one victorious future, and that Loki escaping was just not part of that plan.
Then Doctor Strange wanted to put up the one, because he put up the one after everything got restored, which means everything all the way up until that point was supposed to happen. What's the third one, Eric? Talk to me.
I mean, really, we can consider this the Kevin Feige is the one above all explanation, and things just play out the way they do because Marvel Studios decided that would make for the most interesting stories, and that it's just more thematically satisfying to see Loki have to deal with illogical, unfair universal law. And thanks again to KiwiCo for sponsoring today's video. KiwiCo is defining the future of play by making small today prompt they use to blow up balloons. I've only learned how to do is develop that to think about how this would all fit into Endgame's timeline logic. Which brings me to theory 3, the one I think is probably the most accurate. The TVA is full of shit, and
there we go. That's the one that makes the sense. Exactly, nigga. This shit shouldn't be a show.
Gods to gods.
I'm sorry, but they're quite busy
Oh,
Exactly.
What are they doing?
dictating the proper flow of time.
I see. Right, and then what do you do?
Dictate the proper flow of time according to their dictations.
Yeah, like Loki, we are given little reason to trust the authority of the Timekeepers. According to Miss Minutes, they interfered with an ancient multiversal war to smush the timelines into one sacred timeline, but by doing so, they picked winners and losers, and they set up this draconian system where those who step off their destined path, even by accident, like showing up late for work, are dragged through this traumatic legal process. And really, their whole mythology was cooked up by the TVA's in-house propaganda department. So Loki's right to consider this absurd. It's broken. These guys are not the good guys. And while Loki may have conceded his stone quest, he still has no respect for the TVA's rule of law and will betray them as soon as he can. Especially if all of this is just coming from Renslayer's dictations of the Timekeeper's dictations. And these beings are weirdly enshrined all over the place, but we never really see them in the flesh. In fact, these marching orders for what is and is not in the sacred timeline could just all be made up on the fly, coming from some old man behind the curtain. And now things are unraveling for the TVA. They're getting desperate, they're making mistakes, because they are facing a crisis. Some Loki variant has been murdering Minutemen and stealing their reset charges. 6 in the last week, according to U92, which, by the way, interesting that they track their own time in days and weeks. So, when another Loki variant, L1130, shows up, it makes sense that the TVA fears him and singles him out, discriminates him, doesn't really have a good answer for him, because every Loki represents a threat to their already flawed system. Now the TVA
already flawed system. You hear that? You hear that, nigga?
WandaVision used to describe the Scarlet Witch because she is a Nexus being in comics who can transcend reality. And I think that previous era of that multiversal war was the result of Nexus beings. And now the TVA fears another Nexus sorcerer will repeat the historical cycle and unravel the sacred timeline back into a multiverse. And they're worried it's going to be a Loki variant. But while their sights are set on variant Lokis, they really should be worried about Wanda Maximoff upsetting that balance into a coming multiverse of madness.
But they already know that. You want to know why? Because it was supposed... That's because it's supposed to happen. They know everybody's past, present, and future. So they know she's going to fuck with the multiverse. But they going to let her rock, though. But not Loki? For sure. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Fuck out of here with this bullshit, bro.
Support this channel by checking out our new Loki-inspired...
Yeah, so, yeah, nigga, yeah. So I just debunked the whole series. Like the fuck I said in my video, the series is a cash grab. They should have put Cloak and Dagger and Runaways out instead of this bullshit. They milking Loki because it's Tom Hiddleston and Loki. That's a big name, big MCU villain. Come on now, the first MCU villain. For sure. So yeah, thank you, Eric. Boss. Thank you, boss. What you talking about, man? Come on, bro. Alright, man. We about to see what the variants confirmed to explain the multiverse. I seen Evan Peters on this shit. So we about to see what this shit talking about though.
What's poppin'?
So yeah, I'm not about to like that means that every single thing in the MCU it doesn't matter because the heroes are supposed to win in the end. No stakes. Like the only thing that would give it stakes is if Loki is successful and like Loki kills one of the Time Lords, or one of the Time Lords is going against the other two ones, or some shit like that, or like there's a conflict with the Time Lords. That's the only thing that would make shit have stakes in the MCU. Because pretty much everybody came back. Black Widow, the only thing that's really dead is Iron Man. And I mean, I guess Black Widow's dead, but she having her own movie, so we're seeing her again. That's what I mean by that. We seeing everybody. Come on, bro. Can't fight you on this bullshit, bro.
What's poppin', rock stars? My name is MT, and buckle up, my nerd babies, because I've got something nice for you today.
Talk to me.
Hang on just a minute.
Because I recently had the amazing privilege to be invited by Disney and Marvel Studios to chat with professional, handsome, and talented writer man Michael Waldron during his virtual press tour for the Disney Plus series Loki. Michael Waldron is, of course, the super chill head writer for Loki, as well as the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, naturally, my weird-ass self decided to ask him about WandaVision, a show that ended 3 months ago. But, more specifically, how Loki could solve a big WandaVision mystery behind Marvel's unexpected boner. But before I get into all that, I just want to let you guys know that this video is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is
my first time seeing MC. What's good with you, my nigga?
Online presence.
When hey, I ain't watched Rockstars in a minute. When the fuck you get on this bitch?
Play the interview, John. And obviously, people were quite surprised to find out that Evan Peters was Ralph Boner the entire time instead of Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men films in WandaVision. So now that Loki is set to introduce the concept of variance,
why like Freddie Mercury?
Will we get some sort of explanation for that phenomenon in WandaVision explained in Loki?
Have to watch, you know, variants. That's the cool thing about variants. But I don't think I can, you know.
Cool thing about variants, okay.
How tied in we were with that at the end of all this.
An interesting reaction and response, wouldn't you say? That is the cool thing about variants, isn't it? Now, I am willing to bet a significant amount for my 3-digit savings account that Waldron's response to this question is a strong
damn, they ain't paying you, my nigga? What the fuck they paying you?
Will be revealed as a variant of Peter Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, from the Fox X-Men films by the end of the Loki series. Something that would confirm a strongly held theory of mine that I've been screaming to the clouds like a senile old man about, called the Boner Effect, which basically states that the same faces exist throughout the Marvel multiverse, but sometimes with different personalities or roles. But while this isn't an official confirmation from Waldron about anything, you know, judging by his "I don't want to get shot by Marvel snipers" response, the suggestion that Loki is shaping up to be the Boner Effect, the series, is pretty strong, with the very concept of variance in the Loki show being the Boner Effect in action. So basically what I'm saying here is that the Loki show will introduce the concept that Steve Rogers and Johnny Storm, Killmonger and Johnny Storm, Pietro and Kraven, Blade and Cottonmouth, Moon Knight and Apocalypse, Thanos and Cable from Deadpool, these will all be revealed to be Boner Effect variants.
Jonah and Dr. Doom from Runaways. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tied together onto the single sacred multiversal timeline by the mysterious timekeepers. Some pretty wild shit, man. But hey, before I continue this video, I just want to once again thank our sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform. customizable gallery. That's Squarespace to the last time we heard the word Nexus said in WandaVision. Play the clip, John.
I mean, everything informs everything else. So whether it's us, myself communicating with Jack Schaefer, who's the head writer of WandaVision, or more often it's the creative producers who are there in the room with us, the Marvel executives, interfacing with their colleagues to make sure that we're all, telling a cohesive story alongside one another, but each team is working independently to make sure that their project is the best thing it can possibly be. And then, naturally, they all tend to fit together.
And of course, since the man Michael Waldron has been chosen by our Lord and Savior Kevin Feige himself to pen the Doctor Strange 2 script, I just had to ask him about some potential teases and crumbs for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness hidden within Loki as well.
I think that's something you'll have to watch it all and find out if I was that smart or not.
And I have a good feeling that my boy Mike Waldron is that smart, and judging by this response, I think it's safe to say that we should very much be on the lookout for Doctor Strange 2 teases within the Loki show. Like when my wife Miss Minutes said that the multiverse could fall into madness during the TVA video. Multiverse madness. Crumbs. Doctor Strange. It's coming. But I can think of few things more mad than jumping out of a plane you hijacked with a briefcase full of money after losing a bet to the Asgardian God of Thunder. Now, I don't know about you. I could be in the minority here, but I personally loved how they made an actual mysterious historical figure, Loki, all along. So I just had to ask Michael Waldron if he had any other history manipulating plans for where in time is Loki San Diego, and here's what he said.
We talked about a million things in the writers' room. I think we had a whiteboard just filled with different historical events, eras, places we wanted to go. You want to do something that isn't obvious, but yet isn't such a deep cut that nobody can even identify it as a historical event. So I think, fortunately, with DB Cooper, we hit a nice little bullseye of just something that's fun to see on screen.
And of course, because Marvel loves to make their end credits so incredibly detailed, your favorite brown nerd just had to ask about it. Well, more specifically, if there are any Easter eggs within that end credit sequence that we should all be keeping an eye out for.
That credit sequence is rad. I don't know. Hey, look, I would say every frame of this show is worth pausing and looking at, whether to look for Easter eggs or to just to luxuriate in the production design that Kaz, our production designer, did. It's all beautiful. How important is it? I don't know. Time will tell.
And finally, since I'm sitting down with the freaking head writer of Loki, I thought I'd do the speculating nerd world a favor by playing a little speculation game with Michael Waldron. And well, just take a look. I'm going to say a word or a phrase, and you just send me a signal if you think it's okay for all of us to speculate in that direction. 1, a big cameo. Should we speculate in that direction?
Speculate.
Okay. Tie-ins to Multiverse of Madness.
Speculate.
Speculating away. Okay. Kang the Conqueror.
Sure, speculate away.
Speculating away. All right, the mutants.
That nigga gonna tell you shit. This shit sort of like my interview with Ariella Barra from Runaways. Yes, sir. Hey, gotta go check that out. Hey, she was spilling some tea about season 4. She was spilling some tea. Y'all might want to check that motherfucker out. But she did spill some tea though. But I mean, I guess because the show was canceled. But he can't really spill no tea though.
And Mephisto.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, we gonna be speculating all day.
Definitely speculating. Big time speculating.
Oh shit! So that nigga might be in there. Hold on. What about Runaways though, nigga? Ask about Runaways.
Speculate.
Oh, we okay.
Ask him about Runaways, nigga.
So I didn't really get a lot out of Waldron there, but he did tell us to speculate about all those things. So that's what we gonna do, because that's what we do here at New Rockstars. We Speculation Nation. But anyways, huge thank you to Michael Waldron for taking the time to sit down with me. This was my first interview ever in the history of Beyonce's Sacred Timeline. But Michael Waldron is such a chill and easy to talk to dude for answering the questions that I had for him that I didn't even need all those adult diapers that I purchased in preparation for the interview. Huh? What? I didn't say anything about Depends for Men. That was you. And of course, an even bigger thank you to Disney and Marvel Studios for inviting new rockstars in.
Things got on tidy whities.
And Kevin Feige is my dad, so Let you guys know that.
My black son! My black son!
But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and be sure to follow me at Mastertainment if you want to, you know, hear me ramble about various Marvel theories 24/7, because that's literally all I do on my Twitter. Because I have
all right, man. Let's gonna wrap it up for that though, man. Yeah, that little video was just a bonus, so that makes sense. So I guess we kind of can't get mad because, yeah, that would mean that Loki is a variant. I mean that Evan Peters is a variant. So yeah, we can't really get mad about that. I mean, I probably wouldn't be mad. I probably wouldn't have got mad at the boner joke if Agatha would have said that. I forgot what Agatha said. I don't know if she said that she pulled that specific guy out of nowhere. But nah, that guy already lived in the town. Yeah, so that, yeah, if she would have said that she just pulled him out of nowhere, then I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't be mad at the boner joke, because then, yeah, that kind of ties in with this. You know, of like she did pull this nigga out of like another multiverse or whatever, or well, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Did she say that she don't know why Wanda? I think she said something about like she don't know why Wanda, you know, thought of him as Pietro. But I thought that was Agatha's magic, making him seem like he was Pietro. Like they made it seem like he was a random nigga. Like if she would have said that she tried to conjure up that same like Pietro, but it came on like a different version and Wanda recognized him as her Pietro, or like a Pietro, I'd be like, okay, but I think, yeah, nah, Ralph Boner that was actually Ralph Boner that lived in that, it so happened to live in that exact town. I don't know. Y'all guys let me know. That shit fucking confusing. But the whole purpose of this video was to say that yes, I debunked the whole show. Even Eric Voss sided with me that the whole shit is just BS. Like I said, BS cash grab. So yeah. Now that I know my theory is right, or not my theory, my actual proof is right. I'ma still carry on with the show. Yeah. So yeah, post your comments down below to you guys. So leave a like if you enjoyed this, like if you didn't subscribe. I upload every single week, and I think this bitch Dragon Squad. Bitch, signing off that way, Dexter. Yeah, huh? Get it.
Dragon Squad. I really thought you loved me, girl. How can this be? I didn't love these hoes. It was only you and me. 2 choppers to my chest. No, I cannot.